Bird is a psychologically assassin.
The one I really hated to guard was LarryBird.
Larry made me have sleepless nights, right? No, he did. He had me because I was scared to death that I knew he could beat me.
LarryBird stepped into arenas and the whole vibe changed. Veterans felt it, rookies felt it, even coaches felt it. The moment he walked out, something shifted. You'd see that slow walk, that smooth jumper, and still the lead would vanish. Teams came ready for talent, but they ran into cold certainty. Bird attacked confidence before tip-off. He talked during runs, after buckets, even before plays unfolded. He called his spots and then hit them. That voice stayed stuck in defenders' heads all night.
But, you know, he always talked trash. I remember he talked trash against us, talked trash with against everyone else. But, you know, the difference is he could back it up. He could back it up. You know, I remember, you know, like I was saying, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, you know, a lot of my friends was like that, you know. So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, you know, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. He can, whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
It forced rushed shots and stiff movement. You could see the nerves in warm-ups, the panic passes, the blown rotations. Bird treated preparation like a secret weapon. He studied film, memorized sets, tracked habits, and waited for one tiny mistake. And when it came, he made you pay with a deep three, a sharp backdoor cut, or a pass slicing through the defense.
One thing you got to give Larry Bird, he could be red hot or ice cold. He never stopped talking trash, ever. Their main man was Tom Chambers, and Chambers was guarding Larry. And so in the jump ball circle, Larry walked through myself and Chambers, and then came back and told Chambers, I know you guarding me, and I want you to know something. There's only one man that can guard me, and that's God.
He broke traps with patience, beat switches with angles, and handled elite defenders without crazy speed. Legends felt that pressure in real time. Magic Johnson felt it in finals moments. Isaiah Thomas heard it every possession. Dominique Wilkins felt his pride tested. Kevin McHale saw stars lose composure. Bird owned the tempo. He slowed the game when you rushed him and sped it up when you hesitated. He controlled rhythm and forced teams to react. This video dives into why fear followed him. Not fear of contact, but fear of getting exposed. You'll see how Bird turned preparation, confidence, and skill into pure control and made elite players uneasy before the ball even tipped. Before Patrick Ewing became the anchor of the New York Knicks and one of the top centers of his era, he entered the NBA in 1985 carrying massive expectations. Coming out of Georgetown, Ewing was seen as a franchise savior. Powerful, disciplined, built to dominate the paint. He believed he could impose his will on anyone.
Bird is a psychologically assassin.
In what way though, man? You say that, how?
How can a person jump this high and out-rebound you? How can a person just move you that way and make you a deficiency?
Then he faced Larry Bird. By that point, Bird was already a proven force. Ewing noticed it right away. Bird didn't talk just to entertain. He spoke with precision and then backed it up immediately. Ewing watched Bird tear apart defenses without elite speed or crazy hops. Bird finished through contact, created passing lanes that looked impossible, and punished every late rotation. The pressure stacked up possession after possession.
And so I get in the car and it's Larry fucking Bird. And I shake his hand, I'm quiet, you know, trying to feel that balance in the car and everything. And it's the old school limo sitting in the back. And when we get out, he doesn't say much, but when we get out, he goes, hope you get your sleep tonight because I'm going to bust your ass tomorrow.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to say, but I knew this is a moment you have to say something. Like you can't. And I was like, Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy. And then I run to the room and I call my father. I'm like, Dad, LarryBird was just talking shit to me.
He made it clear why doubting him was a mistake. The joke stopped. The underestimating disappeared. Bird didn't ask for respect. He forced it with skill, preparation, and total control. That presence stuck with Ewing long after the buzzer sounded. Robert Parrish became a pillar of Boston's dynasty and one of the toughest big men in the league. When he entered the NBA, he was already known as a skilled, durable center. Parrish carried quiet confidence. His size and fundamentals demanded respect in the paint, but that respect felt different when he stood across from Larry Bird. Even before tip-off, Bird was talking, challenging, making opponents rethink everything. Parrish remembered a jump ball moment when Bird's words hit hard. He told Tom Chambers, "Only God could guard me." That mix of boldness and belief made Bird impossible to overlook. Parrish saw how Bird's confidence made defenders uneasy. Rotation slowed. Hesitation crept in. Every possession felt heavy before the ball even moved. Bird's constant talk proved he could control the mental side just as much as the physical.
I had a guy named LarryBird kind of talking stuff to me.
Oh, you dunked on Bird there too, yeah.
And I came in and he looked at me like, well, young fella, you into trouble tonight. I was coming in from Italy. I'm like, what? You obviously don't know who I am, bro. So when I did that, I took off and dunked on once. I did it another time, dunked on him again. That's why I should have shut up.
That edge before the game even started explains why he was so feared. He shaped how opponents played, how they thought, how they reacted. Even seasoned stars second-guessed themselves. Before Terrell Brandon became a two-time All-Star and one of the smartest point guards in the league, he entered the NBA hungry to...
It was cold. Cold dude, man, real cold.
Coming off a strong college run, Brandon relied on speed, vision, and basketball IQ to survive at the next level. Facing Larry Bird changed everything for Terrell Brandon. He quickly realized Bird operated on a whole different level. Brandon even called him a psychological assassin. That label fit. Bird never stopped talking, reading opponents, planting doubt, forcing hesitation. Every stare, every word, every move had a purpose. He wanted defenders thinking too much.
Larry made me have sleepless nights, right? No, he did. He had me because I was scared to death that I knew he could beat me. Right. And so that's what a great player does to you that you have to go up against. And not only was he great, the Celtics were great. So, and I was the same way, hopefully, in his mind when he went to sleep, thinking about me. Because I was thinking about him when I went to sleep, that was for sure.
Brandon felt it right away. Bird could take over a game without touching the ball, just by controlling minds. Teammates hesitated. Opponents second-guessed. His presence alone created mistakes before the play even formed. The pressure wasn't loud. It was quiet and heavy. It shaped decisions all over the court. That made Bird more than a scorer or passer. He was a chess player, an intimidator, a disruptor of both the mental and physical battle. That mix made him impossible to overlook and tough to face for anyone in his path. Chris Webber entered the NBA with major expectations, already known as a skilled, versatile forward with size. He had the confidence of a top prospect and the drive to make noise fast. Then he met Larry Bird. Before a dream team scrimmage, Webber remembered sitting in a limo when Bird started talking. Every comment was sharp. Every line had intent. Bird made it clear that talent alone wouldn't save you. Mental strength mattered just as much. Webber, still in college at the time, felt the weight instantly. Bird had a way of making young stars question themselves, brace for mistakes, and tighten up under pressure.
I get a few letters today asking me that same question, and of course, I can say the Michaels or the Reggies or those, but The one I really hated to guard was Larry Bird. He was not a nice guy.
The intimidation didn't need a dribble. It was pure psychological control. Bird's pregame presence left a mark that didn't fade. He wasn't just a scorer or a passer. He mastered confidence and mental pressure. That early calculated edge made him feared by even the most gifted players. Before Brian Shaw became a respected all-around guard in the league, he relied on fundamentals and basketball IQ to battle bigger, faster opponents. But he quickly learned that skill alone wasn't enough against Larry Bird. In one practice, Bird challenged Shaw and a teammate to take him on 2-on-1. That sounds unfair, until Bird started controlling everything. He forced non-stop rotations, tested every pass, every cut, every defensive switch. Shaw and his teammate barely escaped with a 1-point win, and it didn't feel like a victory. That moment stuck with Shaw. Bird's competitiveness never took a day off, even in practice. He dictated tempo, predicted moves, and punished tiny mistakes. The fear he created wasn't about strength. It came from his certainty and his ability to make multiple defenders look unsure. Bird didn't need to win that drill. The fact he asked for the challenge while outnumbered said everything about who he was as a competitor. Antoine Carr brought his own fire to the court. He had strength, quickness, and zero hesitation about speaking up. Carr liked to challenge opponents and set the tone early. But talking back to Larry Bird came with a price. Early in one game, after Carr kept chirping, Bird leaned in and told him he was in for some trouble. That warning shifted the whole energy. Bird's words carried weight because he always backed them up with action. Carr felt the pressure right away. Bird's mix of skill, intelligence, and non-stop communication made players think twice before testing him. Even confident veterans hesitated. His presence created tension without overpowering anyone physically. It was pure certainty, sharp precision, and total control. That moment showed why Bird was so feared. Not because of size or speed, but because he commanded attention, punished mistakes, and broke opponents down mentally before they even made a move. Gary Payton built his reputation as someone who could get inside anyone's head. Trash talk was part of his game. He used it to throw opponents off balance and turn words into weapons. His edge came from mental pressure just as much as athletic skill. But Payton once admitted Bird was the coldest talker he ever faced. He tells the story calmly, almost like it's legendary history. Bird didn't yell. He didn't put on a show. His words were quiet but sharp, landing with purpose and planting doubt. Even elite players started overthinking simple decisions. Payton felt it instantly. Bird could shift the entire court without scoring a single point. The timing of his words, the steady confidence. It created pressure that stuck for every possession. Opponents started reacting instead of attacking, and once hesitation crept in, mistakes followed. Gary Payton described Bird like he was telling a legendary campfire story. That alone shows how deep the respect and fear ran across the league. Bird carried an aura you felt whether you wanted to or not. Magic Johnson was used to stepping in the floor and owning it. His size, vision, and skill left defenders scrambling. But Larry Bird shifted that energy. He created tension before the opening tip, a quiet pressure that made even Magic pause. It wasn't about speed or strength. It was certainty, focus, and a mind that never shut off. Magic admitted Bird gave him sleepless nights. He knew when they faced off. Bird could take over in ways that went beyond scoring. His anticipation, timing, and belief turned every possession into a mental test. Magic wasn't just trying to outplay him. He was trying to outthink him. He had to stay one step ahead of someone who always seemed in control. Even a player with Magic's talent felt that edge. Bird read the floor, dictated pace, and forced hesitation. Every rotation, every pass, every adjustment carried his imprint before the ball even moved. Bird wore teams down, not with raw power, but with intelligence, certainty, and the ability to make the best players doubt themselves. That's what made him one of the toughest competitors Magic ever faced. Craig Elo, known for his defense and non-stop effort, entered the NBA as a gritty, hard-working guard. Craig Elo took pride in competing hard and standing his ground against bigger, faster guards. But Larry Bird was a whole different problem. Bird wasn't out there to be friendly, and Elo admitted he hated guarding him. He felt it instantly. Bird controlled the floor with timing, movement, and non-stop talk. Every cut, every screen, every pass had intent. Defending him felt like chasing a shadow you couldn't quite grab. His presence alone caused hesitation and second-guessing, making even disciplined defenders feel uneasy. Elo understood the mental edge right away. Bird's confidence and words weren't random. They shaped reactions, created doubt, and forced mistakes before plays even unfolded. Guarding him wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare. That's why Bird was so feared. He wasn't only an elite scorer or passer, he controlled minds, exposed hesitation, and made defenders wish the possession would just end. His presence demanded respect without saying a word. Bird's impact didn't come from flashy moves or rare athleticism. It came from preparation, skill, and unshakable belief. Every possession, every stare, every comment forced opponents to react instead of play freely. Even in practice, he controlled tempo, created pressure, and made sure everyone felt who was in charge. Bird played with total certainty. Every move had purpose, and every action was backed by results. He wasn't just scoring or passing. He was controlling the entire battle, mentally and physically. Facing him tested your focus, your preparation, and your confidence. If you respect greatness like this, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it.